Greetings YouTube. Today we're going to be looking at the Sheffield matte black folding pocket knife, and I got this at Sears during their Christmas season. So here we have the knife in question. It's got a lanyard hole, a very generous lanyard hole. You could quite easily get paracord through there if you so chose. Single position pocket clip, though it's a nice deep carry pocket clip, which I appreciate. Skeletonized, which is a nice touch. Obviously you can see right there that the liner lock has jimping on it, though it's not overly aggressive. There is jimping here on the handle scales, which is nice. And this is, in theory, a flipper, but it doesn't really flip. Whoops! See if I can pop it. Oh, I can pop it. Yay! The problem here is this pivot. Now, this actually is a star drive pivot. And I was able to get a star drive tip in there, but it's very tiny. And I was only able to loosen it up a very small amount before it stripped out. So I used an easy out to turn it a little bit more, which of course did a little bit of damage to the pivot itself, because this thing was so stiff you could barely get the blade to respond. Open pillar construction, very simple. Steel liner locks, again some not aggressive, but quite comfortable jimping here on the blade. And there's some jimping here on the handle, rather. There's jimping here on the handle, on the blade itself, which is weird because it's way out here. And now if that's for your thumb, that's a weird position. And if it's your finger, I guess they're making the assumption you'd be doing scalpel cuts. But frankly, this thing is just not that sharp to be using scalpel cuts, and I just can't see you skinning with it, which is one of the reasons you'd have a scalpel cut setup is for skinning to get in there with some nice precise control. And this is not something I'd be turning to. I mean, yeah, the definition of a survival knife is the knife you have when you're in a survival situation, but I would not pick this as a design. Now, the scales are contoured in 3 dimensions, which is nice. And they actually don't have a horrible grip. It's a little on the thin side, but it's not horrible. But it's very slick. I mean, very, very slick. This is very slippery. So there's no traction here at all. So I purchased this for, I think, $10. I just wanted to see what it was like, to see what Sheffield was having to offer for their Christmas. And it's not a bad design. It's got a nice little swedge there. Hollow grind, the secondary bevel. This section is flat, parallel with the front and back. It's not a horrible design, it's just not well executed. A little bit more effort, maybe $1 more of effort into this would have made a better knife, and you would have had a better bargain for your dollar. And I can't imagine anyone who got this actually for a Christmas gift and a stocking stuffer or something was really excited to see it, because it just isn't that great a knife. But it's part of my collection now, and I'll keep it. And if you're looking for a beating knife, one that you're not going to care about in the least if you lose it or get it confiscated, this may be something you might want to consider. I definitely wouldn't make it your primary blade, though. I would prefer to have something of better quality with better steel. I don't even have any clue what the steel on this thing is. But this is, Sheffield seems to excel in making inexpensive, not particularly high-quality knives. Excuse me. And that seems to be their forte. There was a time, though, when Sheffield steel meant something, and I would like to actually get my hands on a knife from that era. I would like to know what was Sheffield steel like at its peak.